Hey y'all, welcome back, Seven Heaven. We are blessed and highly favored over here. I have to start this reading with an obligatory. Sorry, y'all. And prayers to everybody dealing with the fires out west right now. It is crazier than I honestly could have ever imagined, just from like seeing pictures and hearing from people that are nearby. But I used to live in LA. I lived in LA for a long time. And I went to school there and I worked there and everything. And, it can be a pretty amazing place in a lot of ways. But I just feel so sorry for everybody that's out there now. And I shared that I lived in LA just so y'all know that, like, I'm not ignorant to the geography of the land or anything like that. And I wanted to do this reading because many reasons, but what's interesting to me is that there's a song by the Ink Spots. I think it's called I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire. Yep. I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire. And the evening of January 6th, the day before these fires started happening, I listened to that song so much. I couldn't tell you why, but I couldn't stop listening to it. And I think that the fires started like January 7th, so this would have been the evening before. But it was just like, it was so prominent in my mind, I could not stop listening to this song, y'all. And I find that interesting because what was my like former residence, this kind of took hold of that the day after. So I feel like that was such a strong message that came through. And y'all should listen to the song. It's an old school song, but I couldn't stop listening to the song, and I find that very interesting. And so that's one reason why I wanted to do this reading. But another is, y'all know, the pattern of the fires is like, it's kind of, sorry, I got a text, but it's vaguely along the way of the high-speed rail system that's planned. There's something about almond farms as well. Interesting. And so, yeah, we already have cards popping out, but I want to do this reading to see what is coming from this, what caused it, what's coming up from it, and like what the world, because obviously it's California, it doesn't apply to the whole world, even though we see these fires all over the place, but it's like, it's ushering in a new time frame. And I know like there's very devastated people, y'all, that have lost a lot. So I want to be sensitive about that, but this was prophesied in many, many ways. And I think that there's just something bigger to this, y'all. There's something bigger to this. And I'm gonna just pull them and then we'll show y'all, but there's definitely something up with this. Oh, interesting. The King of Cups reversed. And y'all know, that's another thing I wanted to mention, the Resnicks. The Resnicks are the billionaires that own all the water in LA and sell it back to people. And this water, I find it interesting that first of all, it's a military dude. Second of all, it came out reversed. So it's like all that water kind of being held. And then, of course, we also have the military star, y'all. So, very, very interesting. And the star is not military in every deck. It's only in this deck. But we also, of course, have the Five of Cups, which, I mean, this has come out before, and it's that devastation. I mean, people losing their homes. Their children don't have a place to live, but also this little watchman in the corner, This little watchman in the corner. And the Five of Cups is like another water thing. So it's like we're the crying for the lack of water. And also, I mean, y'all know there's the whole like 15-minute city phenomena. Look, we have the moon, another water-driven card it's the keeper of secrets. And it's what also reveals those secrets. But we also have a key there. And y'all know the Resnicks own all that water. So it's this idea of like the keeper, this fire was started by the keeper of the keys, is what I'm immediately hearing. Train, and this card says trained zombies. Interesting. Very interesting, y'all. Let's take, do we have something from the top? And Seven of Cups, another Cups card. But y'all see all these brains are exposed here. So it's like that, it's the intelligence, and it's easier for folks to kind of be fooled. Because why do we have all these water cards? Something about water too. I don't know, y'all. I think it also just kind of drives up how you can sell water to people. And y'all, if you haven't seen Chinatown, watch Chinatown. Yeah, it came out in the 70s, and it's a very interesting movie about the irrigation system of LA. I don't know if the Resnicks are in that or not, or if there's a fictional family that represents them, but something interesting here to have to do with water and the military. Just rights to the water supply. And you know, y'all, like, not everything, I don't think that everything has to be a conspiracy. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I do think that these things, whether energetically resetting or somehow, some way, the world evolves, you know? And it's not always in ways that we would think or we would hope, or unfortunately that keep people like safe and homed. And it's just devastating. But this is, I mean, divine plan. It is the powers that be. It's someone's plan. And another Cups card. Another Cups card, but this one was upside down in the back. So really it's like the water supply, because now knowing how big of a risk these fires are and someone controls the water, it can only be that much more kind of expensive, y'all. And another, all these upside down cups. Just like there's no water. Even if that's the beginning of, I mean, folks have said, and look, this car with fire on it. The beginning of kind of the water scarcity. 8 of Wands as well, which is our fire suit. And it's all aimed at that house. But, I mean, people have talked about before how, like, oh, in the future there will be this and that for water. So I think there's that, there's the ushering in of some kind of water scarcity. Okay, well, we hit these off. The High Priestess, intuition. And then, of course, we have the King of Swords, but he's reversed. So it's interesting to have a court card in this reversal here. And he has that butterfly on him. I really think this is like a metamorphosis of leadership. And just like a redistribution of the water economy. Yeah, this is a redistribution of the water economy. And y'all have heard of the 15 minutes cities thing. That, you know, they want cities with less cars, that you can get to everything in 15 minutes via the train, via a public transit system. And also the creation of smart cities. But I really think this is something, I mean, obviously it started from a lack of water, that's no doubt. But I think it's just like, who controls the water? We're going to find something out about that. I mean, we already know that the Resnicks own it, but that idea of now will it get even more expensive for people who want to live back there? and they'll charge them double, triple, quadruple to have water access. Like, this has to do with big water money, I'm hearing. And you know, like I said, y'all, some things are just incidental, but I think it's interesting how we have all these reverse cups cards here. And y'all can let me know if you want me to do a part 2 on this, but we'll see if I even post this. But there is some kind of hidden power here. Hidden power, the powers that be, folks that deal with the legal system. So that's this too. And it's like the resetting of water. Interesting, because we have this also. The fire car that's like flying in there, but the guy's upside down and there's a lizard on it during our year of the snake. And then the reversed Ace of Cups. So it's kind of, it's like the mighty water dollar. Because I mean, you can, obviously money's very important, but you can't have anything without water, you know? And it's like, what water prices could absolutely skyrocket when you live in this kind of economy. So we have the pointings too to like, there's probably a mix of arson in there as well. Like you have the organic fires, but then you have like the copycat people who kind of just come in. And that's like, I don't know, I think a big thing with arsonists, you have revenge, you have trying to cover things up. Like there's a lot of things there when we talk about arsonists. But I don't know, I think one of the biggest is just like, obviously it's people who are out of their mind, but it's almost like whenever you have protesting and looting, like the two sides of that same coin, where it's just like, well, chaos kind of breaks out because you have protests, but then you have people who will just start like breaking into things out of the frustration and the chaos. And I think that's what happened here. You have like genuine fires. Oh, can I pick her up? Yeah, you have the genuine fires, and then you have like the copycat people who are just leaning into the destruction. Can we please have another card? This is a very weird energy to tap into, y'all, and I appreciate your patience with this because it's a sensitive thing and it's quite devastating to the folks who went through it, but it's interesting to see where it will go. Where is this leading, Spirit? Can you tell us, please, where this rebuild is leading? Okay, well, I'm gonna take these. Three of Swords in reverse. So it's a kind of healing that should have been done a long time ago, but yeah, it's a delayed, sorry, I saw a text. It's healing that should have been done a long time ago. Queen of Cups in reverse. Somebody is trying to control the water supply, which is crazy because somebody already does. But this is just like, this is gonna draw stricter control over the water supply. Yeah, there's very much a Queen of Cups. And Six of Swords, another card that takes place on water. But it goes from choppier water to easier water. So this is like, I don't know, y'all. This is kind of apocalyptic, but it's like, it's big water money. And it's the start of water being even more expensive and the kind of resource that people are just going to have to get used to begging for it. And I mean, of course, there's been like such a crazy drought, but I don't know. I think there's something to do with the powers that be. somebody's making big water money off of this by scaring people into buying it at even more premium prices. I know this stuff is kind of crazy, y'all. And let me know if you want me to do a part 2 on this. Again, I'm so sorry to everybody who's had to suffer because of this stuff, because, I mean, frankly, it's terrible. It's life-changing, and it's not something you'll ever forget. But in the divinity and kind of more so what's hidden, I do think this has to do with water redistribution on the legal level. And I know the fires are a natural thing, but that's just what's kind of coming out to me, is who controls the water controls everything, y'all. So let me know if y'all care to do a part 2 on this. Interesting, we have the star here too with the military, because it's like inside, but it's also, remember, it was a lot of celebrity homes burning as well. I also just had the thought, y'all, because think about this, and I know this is far-fetched, like tinfoil hat garb, but think about, I was thinking about the water from a monetary perspective, but think about, okay, right now they're talking about taking fluoride out of the water, okay? Taking fluoride out of the water. And we had an insane amount of cups here for a reading that's all about fire. But it makes one wonder, because now they've found and all but admitted that fluoride is something that is disruptive to the brain and the neural processes, basically. And it's like a neurotoxin, essentially. And so fluoride's bad for the brain, right? And so now there's that idea of, okay, well, now we're taking fluoride out. We're going to charge more for the water, but guess what we're going to put in it now? And y'all, I know at this point, probably no one believes me when I say I'm not a conspiracy theorist, because I'm truly not. But I just hear that, like, there's some kind of something else that will go into the water now that fluoride is supposed to be taken out. And that obviously will happen to a lot, but the fires in particular are something that will reset the water supply. So the water supply is being reset for fluoride or something similar. And whoever's the keeper of the key here, y'all, whoever's the keeper of the key, has something to do with it. And it's hard to argue, because now people are in devastation. That's why anytime people kind of get up in arms like this, it kind of makes them that much easier. You don't follow your intuition as much, which fluoride is supposed to be like a calcifier of the pineal gland. And first they didn't admit it, then they admit it, then they don't admit it. But now it's supposed to be stripped from the water, which I find quite interesting, because I think just something else is going to go in its place. And whenever everybody's up in arms and distracted and devastated, it's easier to get away with anything. It's very easy to fool people. It's very easy to fool people because your brain's not working right whenever you're in the middle of a big trauma or a big devastation, So that's what else came to my mind too, y'all. It's just that idea of something is just being hidden in the water supply in place of fluoride that's maybe worse. And again, y'all, I don't really know where all this stuff is coming up from, but yeah, y'all, I really appreciate y'all watching. Remember to comment, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But I'll see y'all in the next one. Please stay safe and stay blessed. Bye.